Devaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham Karoti Vachalam Bangum Langaite Giri Yatkrupatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarine Hare Krishna. So we are into 17th chapter and verse number 4. So Krishna told that according to the modes acquired by a particular living being, his faith will be in that mode. So from this verse, Krishna starts explaining what exactly and how we can identify about the faith, or how the external activities also impact the faith. Okay, so yajante satvika devan
Yajante satvika devan
yaksha rakshasamsi rajasaha
yaksha rakshamsi rajasaha
pretan bhut ganaschanye
pretan bhuta ganamschanye
yajante tamasa janaha.
yajante tamasa janaha.
So
Yajante satvika devan yaksha rakshamsi rajasaha pretan bhuta ganamschanye yajante tamasa janaha.
okay, so translation and purport. Men in mode of goodness worship the demigods. Those in mode of passion worship the demons. Those in the mode of ignorance worship ghosts and spirits. Purport. In this verse, the Supreme Personality of Godhead describes different kinds of worshippers according to their external activities. According to scriptural injunction, only the Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipable, but those who are not very conversant with or faithful to scriptural injunctions worship different objects according to their specific situation in mode of material nature. Those who are situated in goodness generally worship the demigods. The demigods include Brahma, Shiva, and others such as Indra, Chandra, and Sun God. There are various demigods. Those in goodness worship particular demigod for a particular purpose. Similarly, those who are in the mode of passion worship the demons. We recall that during the Second World War, a man in Calcutta worshipped Hitler because, thanks to that war, he had amassed a large amount of wealth by dealing in the black market. Similarly, those in the mode of passion and ignorance generally select a powerful man to be God. They think that anyone can be worshipped as God and that same results will be obtained. Now it is clearly described here that those in the mode of passion worship and create such gods, and those who are in mode of ignorance in darkness worship dead spirits. Sometimes people worship at the tomb of some dead man. Sexual service is also considered to be in mode of darkness. Similarly, in remote villages in India, there are worshippers of ghosts. We have seen that in India, the lower class people sometimes go to forest, and if they have knowledge that a ghost lives in the tree, they worship the tree and offer sacrifices. These different kinds of worship are not actually God worship. God worship is for persons who are transcendentally situated in pure goodness. In Srimad Bhagavatam 4.3.23, it is said, Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam. When a man is situated in pure goodness, he worships Vasudeva. The purport is that those who are completely purified of material mode of nature and who are transcendentally situated can worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The impersonalists are supposed to be situated in mode of goodness, and they worship 5 kinds of demigods. They worship the impersonal Vishnu, form in the material world, which is known as philosophized Vishnu. Philosophized Vishnu. Vishnu is the expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But the impersonalists, because they do not ultimately believe in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, imagine that Vishnu is a form, is just another aspect of impersonal Brahman. Similarly, they imagine that Lord Brahma is the impersonal form of material mode of passion. Thus, they sometimes describe 5 kinds of God that are worshipable. But because they think that actual truth is impersonal Brahman, they dispose all worshipable objects at ultimate end. In conclusion, the different qualities of modes of nature can be purified through association of person who are transcendental, who are of transcendental nature. So here is one identifier. Right? Krishna said like different people have different faith as per the modes they have acquired. So as per the modes, particular person will have different particular faith, and from that he will, that according to that faith he will behave in this world, which we call the external activities. So this identifies like those who are worshipping the devatas, they are at least in mode of goodness. But this is not the Vishuddha Sattva. This is not pure goodness. This is the material mode of goodness. And those in passion, they will worship the Rakshas, Yaksha or Rakshasa. So means we can think, okay, in Rakshas and Yaksha, we hear in the Puranas and Itihasas, but nowadays we don't see any Rakshas as we have, as it has been described in Mahabharata or Ramayana or Krishna Lila. We don't see that type of Rakshasas, the big body and big hair and red eyes, that type of persons. But you have to understand that in Kali Yuga, everything is different. Those were the figures that were in Satyuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga. But now, Kali Yuga, everything will be different. It's not required for demons to come in that shape, or huge body, or huge nails, or fiery teeth, or mouth. Nothing is required in Kali Yuga. A person can be in a normal body, but still he will have all the qualities of a asura or rakshasa, and they become powerful. And people who are in such a powerful position or state, other peoples will recognize that power, and they follow those people. So worship means we should not generally say, take it as preparing a deity or something. That worship means they keep their faith in them. So the topic Krishna is explaining about is faith. So somebody can keep his complete faith in that powerful man, that okay, this man, if I am in good connection with this man, my all activities are done. I don't need anybody else. So I don't need God also. So he keeps his faith into that particular strong person and he follows him. So he don't check for the scriptural injunctions, anything, but he just sees the power externally and he keeps his faith. So that is passion. And Sri Prabhupada mentioned about the ignorance, right? So there are worshippers. So it's not that Srila Prabhupada mentions about India, that in India, in remote villages, there are people who worship the ghost and spirits. But it's not only India. All over the world, there are people who do such type of tantric worship. And it's not that they will be visible to us. They do this such type of activities generally away from the crowd or away from the people. So in Japan also we hear, right, that there are mystics, there are people who have such powers to control somebody. By sitting here, I will control someone. So that is all asuric ignorance worship. And in Kali Yuga, as the Kali Yuga progresses, It will not be necessary for people to do the external activities to prove that. So as a person who is doing some asuric activity, he does not have to be really look like a asura or do activities like a asura, but his intentions or his motives are so ignorant or so troublesome to give troubles to the others, that by that intentions and that desires and that energy things will work with the powerful energy of that. Because Kali Yuga is a, yuga of a mode of passion and ignorance, and so the activities of mode and passion and ignorance will be naturally get powerful, and then other peoples will have to suffer. This is Kali Yuga. So that people will keep faith in this type of people also who are doing these tantric activities of damaging somebody or hurting somebody or doing activities, unnatural activities. So many asuric people are there. We see on some YouTube videos or on there are very strange rituals people do, walking on the fire or something like that. So these are all very activities which are in mode of ignorance, where you do austerities in such a way that you trouble yourself and you trouble others. So Krishna will give those examples, I think, in the next verse also. But these people will have different faith and they will keep their faith in different places as per their interest. When I say interest, actually it is means swabhavaja. What was the second word? Swabhavaja, by the nature. So that person will keep a faith in particular object or person as per his swabhav. So persons who are in mode of goodness, they will keep a faith in the devtas, that okay, if I worship the devtas, they will fulfill my desires. Person in mode of passion worships rakshas, and in ignorance they worship bhuta, preta, all these ghosts type of things which are ignorant. So here we have to understand, if we come across certain instances like this, right, who is worshipping whom, uh, you don't have to judge anybody, but we can see people and we can understand, okay, this person is keeping his faith in so and so thing. So that may be ignorance or that may be passion, but in on that we don't have to judge that person, that okay, this person, oh, he is bad, he's foolish, he's doing all these things. It's not like that. That person has that type of faith, so he's doing this. And this is what Krishna wanted to teach us, that there will be people of different faith, and as per their faith, they will worship. So we should not be judgmental or critical about such people, because that faith is in that situation. But what Krishna says, like Srila Prabhupada mentions, that can also be changed by proper association. So if we understand that somebody is keeping his faith or his or her faith in the wrong thing, and if you are able to recognize that, and if you are ready to help or possible to help them, we should try to help them by giving proper knowledge. That does not mean that we are something superior. So we are doing, it's just a kindness or compassion that we are showing, that okay, at least you have to come out of ignorance to passion, passion to goodness. So there we can support. Ultimately, God will do everything, but we can be instrument to have these people's faith change to goodness. But these are the indicators that will help us to understand a particular person's faith and his nature also. So, like I always say, like Bhagavad Gita, every chapter or every shloka actually help us to relate to our life and understand the world we are living around. And by looking at that world consciously, we can uh, actually experience the Bhagavad Gita in our real life. So Bhagavad Gita is a living book. We have to live Bhagavad Gita. So this chapter also is helpful, because we can see different types of people, different types of faith, different types of austerity, charity, everything we can see by this knowledge. So this is what we call Jnana Chakshu. By the eyes of knowledge, we can see what exactly happening around us. So Krishna will give more examples about the or indicators or indications how we can recognize and how the faith differs in this whole chapter. So we'll continue to see this tomorrow also. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Sorry, my voice was a little bit not good today because of cough allergy. So any comments? Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Thank you, Avidara. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.